Hello, everyone, and welcome inside to UCCU Ballpark here at Utah Valley University. Our second game of the day features the 9th-ranked Orem Tigers taking on the 10th-ranked Bountiful Redhawks. These two teams already met earlier in the week, with Bountiful placing Orem in the loser bracket, but Orem was able to win and now faces Bountiful. So Drew Bowles now due up. Drew Bowles will lead off. It'll be Bowles, who swings and gets nothing on the first pitch, followed by Truman Derrier. Dallin Maxwell, Hank Tippett, the DH, will bat fourth. Carson Webster will bat fifth. Then Drew Breck, Kason Averett in the seventh spot. Easton Abuchan, the pitcher, batting eighth. And James Jordan will round it out in the ninth spot. Owen Miller gets to start on the mound in our 1-2 count. Sawyer Slade at catchers. Cohen Strickland at first. Cooper Bishop at second. Maddox Lamorix at shortstop. Cam Humphreys at third. Alex Hansen in left field. Ali Takashi in center field. And Luke Kimmel in right field. So Bowles strikes out. Miller with a strong start.
Center fielder, number 7, Truman Derrier.
Truman Derrier now due up. Outside delivery takes the count to 1-0. So 2-1 the count. Mentioned the teams already played, with Bountiful taking it 8-5. They got the upset. The 10th-seeded Redhawks beat the 9th-seeded Tigers. But we sit here again. (3-1) the count. As Derrier takes first. Now bring up Dallin Maxwell, the shortstop. So Miller a walk and a strikeout already. Loser of this game eliminated. The winner will go on to play Lehigh in our 7 o'clock matchup tonight. After the first matchup that Bountiful won, Bountiful went on in the winner's bracket to play Lehigh, where Lehigh defeated them 5-1. In our 7 o'clock game last night. And then Orem was able to best Maple Mountain 12-7 to land here. High foul ball is dropped in. 2-0 the count after it's fouled off. 1 out, 1 runner on first in Derrier. And Maxwell strikes out, second of the day for Owen Miller.
The designated hitter, number 1, Hank Tippett.
Now we'll bring up Tippett. Hank Tippett's the DH for his team. 2 outs in the inning. Ball's chopped back. Orem on the season is 22-10, 11-7 in Region 8 play. Ground ball, sent foul from Tippett, who continues to fight and protect home plate. Redhawks 22-10 on the season as well. They're 11-4 in Region 5 play. trying to extend the inning. Miller looking for his third strikeout. Instead, it's played. Hit to Lamorix, who has a fielding error. He has trouble holding onto it. So Tippett makes it to first. Derrier now at third after the error.
The first baseman, number 8, Carson Webster.
Carson Webster now due up. Webster bites on the first pitch, the first baseman, looking to drive in what would be the first runs of the day. Pickoff attempt to first, unsuccessful. Miller once again ahead in the count, 0-2. Looks like something came off the, whether it was a piece of equipment or the bat chipped, I wasn't sure, but piece of something removed. High delivery from Miller, first ball of the at-bat. Outside delivery evens the count at 2. Miller. Ball will be hit to him. He catches it. Stopped it with his glove. Basically just knocked it up to himself and secures it. So Bountiful leaves 2 runners stranded on. As Orem will take the bats now. Looking at Orem's batting order, it'll be Luke Kimmel, Cam Humphreys, Sawyer Slade will bat third, Cohen Strickland batting fourth, Alex Hansen batting fifth, Owen Miller batting sixth, Easton Davies batting seventh as a DH, Maddox Lamorix will bat sixth, and Ali Takahashi will bat eighth. For Bountiful, it'll be TJ Dahlke at catcher, Carson Webster at first, Cason Everett at second, James Jordan at third, Dallin Maxwell at shortstop, Drew Bowles in left field, Truman Derrier in center field, Drew Breck in right field, and catching. Mentioned Dahlke, but who will be throwing to him? Will be the pitchers for the Redhawks. Will be Easton. So Easton Abuchan on the mound. Mentioned Kimmel will be due up first. So we're set to get the bottom of the first underway.
Leading off for Orem, the right fielder, number 6, Luke Kimmel.
It'll be Kimmel, Humphreys, and Slade due up. Kimmel allows the high pitch to pass from Abuchan. High delivery. Takes the count to 2-0. Kimmel. Tigers looking for revenge after losing in Monday's game. And speaking of that game Monday, it was one Bountiful won 8-5. Bountiful got off to the hot start. They scored 5 runs in the first inning. Top of the first. Tigers Cats have been checked today as Kimmel gets the walk.
Playing third base, number 8, Cameron Humphrey.
Cam Humphreys now due up. Mentioned in the first game, Bountiful's hot start. They would add 2 more in the top of the third. They'd go scoreless the rest of the way, but even though Orem was finally get going in the 5th and 6th innings, just proved too little, too late, as they would go on to fall 8-5. Only 10 hits combined for the two teams in the contest. It was a speedy game. This one's off to a fast start as well. Unsuccessful pickoff attempt to Kimmel. Easton Abuchan will be set to deliver. 0-1 pitch. Beautiful breaking ball. 0-2 the count. Opportunity to retire Humphreys. Will wait. Ball sails just to the outside. So we're now 1-2 in the count. This is our second game of Monday. The Bountiful Orem won, and it was one of our quicker ones of the week. Luke Kimmel, who currently is on first, got the start in that contest. As did Truman Derrier, who's now in center. Ball is sent high into right field. Making the grab is Beck. Sawyer Slade is now due up, the catcher.
The catcher, number 20, Sawyer Slade.
Kimmel on first. He walked in the first game as well. Abuchan very mindful of him. Bountiful with 1 out in the inning, 1-0 the count, facing Slade. Slade fouls it off to even the count. Balk the call. Abuchan. Shrugs, kind of admitting, okay, I did do it. So Kimmel the second. It's already been a fun day so far here at UCCU Ballpark. Ground ball. Sent over to third. Jordan plays it, but it's well high. That'll be the first error, and that's going to bring in Kimmel. Kimmel going for home, and he slides in safely. And because that ball gets past Dahlke. What looked like it was going to be an easy out turned into a triple for Slade. And an RBI. So we're going to have a pinch runner come on. That looks to be Zach Eneman. Cohen Strickland now due up. Strickland sends one high into foul territory. Strickland had a home run in Orem's game yesterday. Look at our schedule for the rest of the day. Olympus take on Salem Hills after Salem Hills knocked off Wasatch in our first game of the day. And the winner of this one going on to play Lehigh at 7 tonight. Popped up and caught. Dallin Maxwell makes the short grab off Strickland. I'll bring up Alex Hansen, left fielder, who'll look to drive in. Eneman, who's settled on third after the triple. That was mostly caused by the errors. Already had 3 errors in our first inning. Curveball sails inside, evening the count at 1-1 with 2 outs. One, two, the count. Hansen. We'll let a ball pass, so 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of our first inning. Hansen will ask for time as he steps out and resets. Trying to give the Tigers what would be a 2-0 lead after 1. That pitch delivered well outside, brings it to full count. Hansen will chop it right down to Webster at first, who taps the bag with ease. So Orem's able to score. That's what I heard as well. So it should be. I don't know what the issue is right now. I just reached out to our tech.
Okay, so you guys are working on it?
Apparently, yeah, we just found out about it. I thought everything was fine. Okay. I'm trying to find it right now. a 2-minute delay, so I can't.
Playing second base, number 10, Jason Abrams.
I don't know what the issue is. He must be doing something too. The stream's going. I hit V2. This should be Orem versus Bountiful.
The pitcher, number 11,
Truman Derrier due back up after Bowles flew out to center field. Two nothing our game. Tigers looking sharp early. They've jumped out to the lead. In the first meeting between these two teams, Orem wasn't able to score until the bottom of the fourth. Sorry for our technical difficulties. Appreciate all of you who have tuned in for this matchup between the Orem Tigers and Bountiful Redhawks. I'm JT Wistersill. What you've missed so far has been 2 base hits by Orem. It's brought in a run. Bountiful struggled at the plate. Still looking for their first hit on the day. These two teams met earlier in the week when Bountiful knocked off Orem 8-5 as this ball's put in play. And beating the throw is Derrier, who reaches base safely for the second time today. We're in the top of the third with 1 runner on and 2 outs in the inning. As the Tigers will talk things over. Coach Hermanson comes over to talk with his infield. Looked like first baseman Cohen Strickland was shaken up. Clark Stringfellow, the head coach of the Redhawks. That'll bring up Dallin Maxwell. Ball fouled back into the net. Redhawks looking to get back into this one. Tying run at home plate. Sent into foul territory. Maxwell struck out the first time we saw him. Low ball passes him here. Run through the lineups because of our technical difficulties. Most of you probably didn't get a chance to hear that. So Drew Bowles was the leadoff hitter, then Truman Derrier, Dallin Maxwell, who's due up now. Hank Tippett will bat in the cleanup spot. He's 4th. Carson Webster batting 5th. Drew Beck batting 6th. Kason Averett in the 7th spot, followed by Easton. Pabuchan. Ball's lifted into left field. They'll take a hop and then reach the fence. So this is going to be a double for Maxwell. And they'll score Derrier. Farthest hit ball of the day. Brings in the first run of the game for the Redhawks. Hank Tippett's due back up. Tippett's reached base safely in his first at-bat. Swing and get nothing on Owen Miller's pitch for the Tigers in the field. It's Owen Miller on the mound. Sawyer Slade, catcher. Cohen Strickland at first. Cooper Bishop at second. Cam Humphreys at third base. Maddox Lamorix At shortstop, Alex Hansen left field. Ollie Takahashi in center field. And Luke Kimmel in right field. 1-1 the count, 2 outs. Tippett's awaits Miller's delivery. It's a ball that's smashed into left field. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Dallin Maxwell, the tying run on second. And he's retired looking, so Tippett strikes out at the hand of Miller. Tigers leave 1 stranded on after giving up 2 hits. But Bountiful still able to pull it within 1. We'll see what Orem can do at the bats. When we come back, you're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. Welcome back inside to UCCU Ballpark, your home for the 5A State Baseball Championship Tournament. A reminder, the winner of this game will go on to play Lehigh tonight at 7. If Orem or Bountiful, whoever emerges from this one, defeats Lehigh, there will be a game tomorrow. The timing of that game tomorrow, potentially, would be 7. Same thing in our other game. If Salem Hills beats Olympus, there will be a game tomorrow. But if not, teams will get a day off until Friday. So Sawyer Slade's going to be due up. Slade, the first time we saw him, he had the triple that brought in the first run of the game. It was Luke Kimmel who reached via the walk on first. And the huge triple from Slade got the scoring started. Tigers would add 1 in the bottom of the second, giving them the 2-1 lead as we sit here in the bottom of the third. Ground ball directed at Maxwell, who misplays it. That's going to be the 3rd error charged against Bountiful, as Strickland is now due up with Slade on first after the error. Last time we saw Strickland, he had the short pop out to the man who just made the error in Maxwell. We've already had 4 errors in just 2.5 innings played, and 1 batter faced on top of it. Looking at things for the Tigers in their batting order. It's Luke Kimmel leading off. Cam Humphreys batting second. Sawyer Slade in the 3rd spot. Cohen Strickland batting cleanup. Alex Hansen batting 5th as this one's lifted into left field, where that's a home run. Everyone thought it was going to be an easy out, and instead it's lifted over by Strickland, his 2nd homer of the tournament, and what a play. He extends the Tigers' lead by 2. He Euro steps on his way to touching home plate and awaits his teammates. Looked like he dunked it on a mini hoop as he gets the home run that's just barely fair in left field. But Drew Bowles was under that one. Looked like he was just waiting for it. Thought it was going to come to him, but it is a windy day, and looks like the wind carried it over. Don't know what the issue is at the moment, so Strickland with the 2-run homer that also brought in Slade. So Sawyer Slade, so it was Luke Kimmel, Cam Humphrey, Sawyer Slade, Cohen Strickland batting cleanup, Alex Hansen batting 5th, Owen Miller batting 6th, Easton Davies bats 7th, Maddox Lamorix batting 8th, and Ollie Takahashi batting 9th for the Redhawks. Easton, Abu Chan on the mound, TJ Dolke at catcher. Carson Webster at first. Kason Everett at second. James Jordan at third. Dallin Maxwell at shortstop. Drew Bowles in left field. Truman Derrier in center field. And Drew Beck in right field. One the count with no outs for Hanson, who waits our delivery in the 4-1 game. Grounder directed to Averett, who gets it over to first for the easy out, number 1. Hanson just grounded. Hanson had a grounder in his first at bat as well, but he was able to reach first safely, unlike that one. Owen Miller, the pitcher, now due up. Miller steps in to face Abuchan. He'll foul the first ball off. Outside delivery. This is an Orem team that in yesterday's game versus Maple Mountain had 6 hits in the bottom of the third. It was their most productive inning, but the fifth also helped them to the 12-7 advantage as they scored 4 in that one. Added 4. So 10 of the team's 12 runs in the third and fifth inning. The third run already yielded them 2. 3-1 the count. See if Miller can walk to first. Count will be evened. And at 3-2. So full count. Ground ball will pass by a diving Jordan. So Miller will take first. So Owen Miller with the base hit. And he'll be replaced by a pinch runner. It'll be Fisher Robinson. He'll take over for Miller. So Easton Davies now due up. He was on the mound yesterday for the Tigers in their win versus the Golden Eagles of Maple Mountain. Pitched 5 innings, allowed 4 hits, 4 runs, 4 of those earned, 7 walks to 7 strikeouts, and 19 at-bats. He faced 26 batters and threw 104 pitches. So a lengthy outing for Davies. Bountiful going to send a group of men over to the bullpen as they'll warm up. Pop up. Called for by Averett, who secures it. So 2 outs now in the inning. Maddox Lamarocks now due up. After Davies pop out to second. Lamarocks in yesterday's game versus Maple Mountain had 3 at-bats, 1 run. Also brought in a run, struck out twice, and a walk. Chop 1 foul. Coach Hermanson has to like what he's seen from his team early. That pitch looked to be the outside, but catches the outskirts of the strike zone. And Limericks is retired. So Abuchan able to get the Redhawks out of the inning, but not before he gives up another 2 runs. So 4-1 our score as we head into the 4th. Redhawks looking to get back into this one in the top of the 4th. It'll be Carson Webster due up first, followed by Drew Breck with Kason Averett in the hole. Bountiful scored their first run of the game in the top of the 3rd. First ball is delivered. Averett chops it. It's odd ball played by Lamorix, who gets it to first. Retiring Webster. So Drew Beck due back up. Slow roller, hit to Bishop, who gets the out. 2 up, 2 down. It's Bountiful struggling offensively in their game last night versus Lehigh. They had 7 hits in total, but only scored 1 run in the top of the 2nd. They actually led going into the 3rd, but were not able to score on the strong defense of the Pioneers. Another ball popped up. And catching it despite the contact was Bishop. So Bishop makes the out. Took a hit from Luke Kimmel, who also came down for it. It looks like Kimmel's a little slow to get up, but 3 up, 3 down. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th with the Tigers in control. The Orem Tigers, the 9th seed in our tournament, and the 10th seeded Bountiful Redhawks doing battle in our 2nd game of the day at UCCU Ballpark. Orem made quick work of Bountiful offensively. So we'll see if the Tigers can have more success at the bats against the Redhawks. They've scored 4 runs on 4 hits, scoring at least 1 run in the first 3 innings. They scored 2 in the 2nd and 1 in the 1st and 2nd apiece. So Drew Beck will be due up. So wait for a second as looks like we're talking something over. I'm not entirely sure what it is. Coach Hermanson looks good, and seems like there's an issue with Derrier, or excuse me, Maxwell, who's at short. I don't know if he was shaken up or something or what's going on. Don't like to speculate in this position. Starting to make his way out there is Coach Stringfellow. Got a third base umpire involved. As more umps are getting involved, and it was a confusing situation here. See if they need to make a substitution with whatever's going on with Maxwell or not, but looks like we're good with things at the moment, so should be good to get play underway. While we have an opportunity, though, I want to talk to you about that earlier game between Salem Hills and Wasatch. What was a fun, thrilling game with 12 runs scored by Salem Hills that ended up giving them the win. Wasatch had scored 7 runs in the top of the 4th added a few others along the way to take an 8-2 lead entering the bottom of the 6th. But Salem Hills exploded. Those 12 runs proved too much for Wasatch to overcome. They would add 3. They would add 2, in the top of the 10th, but they couldn't get the last 4 they needed. There still appears to be an issue on the field and a lengthy delay. Our third game of the day, scheduled for 4:30 at the moment. We're going to face an uphill battle to get the 4:30, especially if whatever is causing this delay does not end soon. Appreciate all of you who have tuned into any of our streams this week across the Game Night Live Rewind platform, whether it be lacrosse or soccer. We're bringing it all. But here we got baseball, and we're set to play. So no changes were made. Bottom of the 4th, 4-1 our score. Do it first for Orem is Kimmel. Actually, it'll be Takashi first, then Kimmel on deck with Humphreys in the hole. One-0 the count. Kimmel was able to walk the first time we saw him. He'll look to make another hit for his team. When he's due up next, as Takashi has a great opportunity to make it to first. He's ahead in the count 3-0. Bunt pulled back. Takashi grounds one off into foul territory. Full count. Talked about the Tigers. They've scored a run in each of the past 3 innings. See if they can make it 4 straight. And Takashi goes down swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts for Abuchan.
Right fielder, number 6, Luke Kimmel.
As Luke Kimmel returns. Kimmel in the first game of this series and 3 at-bats. Was unable to register a hit, but did score a run himself and brought one in. 1 walk and a strikeout to his name. In yesterday's game, Kimmel in 2 at-bats got 1 hit, scored 2 runs. Brought in 2 as well. Also afforded a walk. So he awaits the 1-0 pitch. He'll bite on it, evening our count to 1-1. Kimmel is retired. The 3rd straight strikeout for Abuchan. That'll bring up Cam Humphreys.
Cameron Humphreys.
So Orem made quick work of Bountiful offensively. Bountiful well on their way to do the same. The only reason it feels slightly longer is because of that lengthy delay. That was at least 3 minutes we had to start this inning. Second game coming up after this one today will be our 3rd game. In that matchup will be the 4th-seeded Olympus Titans taking on the 12th-seeded Salem Hills Skyhawks. 2 teams will have played each other. It'll be the 2nd game in the last 24 hours. But that due-up scheduled for 4:30 is probably going to be a little bit after, based on when this game concludes. Humphreys 2-2 in the count with 2 outs. So it's fouled off. Abuchan trying to make it 3 straight batters. He's retired in this inning, and it would be 4 if you go back to our previous one when he rested Lemix. Humphreys awaits the pitch. He reaches, he strikes out. What a performance by Easton Abuchan in the 4th inning as he gets 3 strikeouts. Make it 4th if you go back to this last one he secured in the 3rd. So he'll remain on the mound. That was a quick 4th inning. We have 3 more to play. You're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. 4 innings in the books. 3 to go here in our second game of the day at UCCU Ballpark. The winner of this going on to take on the Lehigh Pioneers tonight. Both Lehigh and Olympus have looked really strong in the tournament, but both these teams have proved they can hang with anyone. There's Abuchan's due up. Abuchan's having a phenomenal outing on the mound. Abuchan awaits it. One the count. Owen Miller. Sabado Abuchan's been doing to his guys. Wanted to strike him out. Instead, it's a high chopper, and he'll beat the throw. He made it safely to first. Abuchan with an extremely tough ball. That one hung in the air for what felt like forever off the bounce. And that'll bring on a pinch runner for Bountiful. Pinch runner will be so Jefferson Duryea takes first. So Jefferson Duryea on first. James Jordan now due up. He'll pull back. Abuchan reached first on the highest chopping ball we've seen this week of play. Pickoff attempt at Duryea unsuccessful. Waiting the delivery is James Jordan. Jordan sporting the 23. Chops it foul. If you're Jordan, last name's Jordan and you wear 23, probably not hard to figure out who your favorite athlete is. Coach Hermanson came over to say something. He must have seen something that's going to bring all of our umpires together for another meeting. While we have an opportunity, though, we're going to take a closer look at those games last night. First, it was Orem, who rode some really strong pitching throughout the game. Of the 7 innings played, 5 of them, they gave up no runs to Maple Mountain. They did give up 3 in the 4th and 3 in the 6th, but those offensive pushes, courtesy of guys like Co Strickland, who had a big home run. He drove in 4 runs on the game, helped power his team to the win. Over the 22 seed Maple Mountain, which Maple Mountain had a slew of upsets. They were the ones who knocked out the top seed, Spanish Fork, as Jordan goes down swinging.
Left fielder, number 24, Drew Bowles.
And for Bountiful last night, we talked about it. They were really strong defensively outside of the bottom of the third. Got to imagine they're hungry for another shot at Lehigh, as this one's lifted into left field. Playing it off the bounce was Hansen, but that'll put 2 on base. So Bowles reaches first, which means Derrier. Truman Derrier with his brother on second. Coach Hermanson going to make a visit to the mound. Talk things over with Miller, figure out how they want to play this. Which is 1 out. Bowles' appearances on the day. Struck out in his first at-bat, then sent one out into center where he was retired. Look ready to resume action.
Playing center field, number 7, Truman Derrier.
Derrier. So Miller gets the signals from Lamorix at short. Ball's popped straight up. Back on it. And making the grab is Takahashi. So 2 outs now for Bountiful, but the tying run coming up to the plate.
The shortstop, number 4, Dallin Maxwell.
So Dallin Maxwell due up. After Derrier flew out into center, Maxwell will be looking for his first plate appearance. He'll be looking for his first opportunity to reach base today. 0-1 the count. Maxwell's bitten on the first 2 pitch, falling to 0-2. Redhawks trying not to leave 2 stranded on. Miller. Outside delivery. Maxwell had the double the last time we saw him. Count will go to 2-2 with 2 runners on. Miller delivers a ball that's fouled off by Maxwell. He's making his 3rd plate appearance of the day. Miller waits one from Slade he likes. This is it. 2-2 count. 2 runners on. And we got a pop-up. Looks to be playable. Instead, it'll nearly come towards us. Looks like that Slade lost it in the sun as he covered up. Two count, 2 outs. We'll do it again. 2 runners on. Derrier at third. Opportunity to bring him in. This one sails. Is it going to drop? It will. That'll bring in a run for Bountiful. So the big time hit from Dallin Maxwell off the high foul ball. Dropped before Alex Hansen could make a diving play for it. That'll bring up Hank Tippett after the RBI was brought in. 2-4 our score now. Gonna have a pinch runner take first.
Pinch running for Bountiful first base, number 6, Curtis Cook. Now batting the
Curtis Cook at first.
number 1, Hank Tippett.
Tippett's now due up. First at bat. He sent one in the left center field. His second he struck out. Miller delivers the first ball to him. Still runners on first and third. This one's lifted in the left field where it'll drop. Bringing another run for the Redhawks. Their bats are hot. They've scored 2 in the top of the 5th to make it a 3-4 game. So Miller getting hit a little now. That'll send some bodies to warm up for Orem. Tippett with another base hit on the day. Had that one off the line drive that drove in the first run of the day for him. Runners on second and third. With Carson Webster now due up. Last time we saw Webster. Grounded out to Lamorix at third. See if he can keep the inning alive. The tying run at third. Leading run at second. Webster will hope to bring them both in. He allows the first strike to pass. One the count. Now 2-1 off the off delivery. Miller trying not to load the bases up. This one will be lifted. It'll take a bounce before it reaches center field. The tying run coming in. It's going to be close. It was bobbled. Bountiful just took the lead. 2 runs come in off the Carson Webster double. So 5-4 our score. With Drew Beck now due up. Beck sends one into foul territory. It's been a great inning for Bountiful as they take the 5-4 lead. You know, through our games here at these tournaments, it's rarely the first two innings where these teams have their most prolific hitting success. It always comes more in the middle of the game, kind of starting in that 3rd to 5th inning. And obviously in our previous game, we just saw Salem Hills come to life in the 6th where they scored those 12 runs. So this 5-4 game still very much anyone's contest. 2-1 the count. Facing Beck. Outside pitch makes it 3-1 our count. Got to imagine Coach Stringfellow is loving the response from his team in the top of the 5th. 10th-seeded Redhawks looking to keep their season going. Ball's fouled off. Full count. Miller. Will deliver the ball to the outside. He's frustrated. Allows Beck to walk. Case and Averett want to come back up to home plate.
Second baseman, number 10, Case Averett.
Look to keep the hot bats going for the Red Hawks. Averett bites on the first ball. One, two, our count. Now 1-1 off the delivery from Miller. He's trying to get his team out of this inning. 7 hits for Bountiful now in the game to 4 for Orem. There's been 4 hits in this inning for the Red Hawks, and that'll be another. It's launched into left field. It's going to take a hop before it reaches Hansen. And it'll bring in another run. The 5th of the inning scores as Carson Webster crosses home plate. It's going to bring out Coach Hermanson. He'll talk things over with Miller and his infield. Bountiful's excited. Hear their chants from the bullpen. See what Coach Hermanson is feeling. Looks like since it's been 2 outs for a while since Derrier flew out to center field. We talked about Beck's walk. Averett just had that shot. It's 5 consecutive batters who have reached base, 4 of which off the hit. So 2 more runs come in. That's now 6 runs, or 5 runs is the scoreboard here at UCCU continue to change. So it's 5 runs. So it's a 6-4 lead now. And what was a 4-1 game coming into this inning. Coach Hermanson finally exits the mound. So Averett lifting one into left field.
The pitcher, number 11,
Abushan due back up. He was actually the first batter, so we now have gone officially around the order. It's Abushan. Rockets one into right field. It's going to bring in another run for the Tigers. This one will be close. Bountiful is safe. 2 more runs score. How about the 2-way performance from Abushan? And looks like that will end it for Miller, who is hit again. Blake Brotherson going to take over on the mound for the Tigers in relief of Owen Miller. Miller had only surrendered 1 coming into this 5th inning, but has now given up 6. In what is now a 7-4 ball game.
now pitching for Orem, number 5, Blake Brotherson. Now batting for Bountiful, 23rd base, number 23, James Jordan.
So Brotherson takes the mound with James Jordan batting for the 2nd time in the inning. He'll foul one off first. It's all coming together for the Redhawks here. As Jordan lets the first ball of the at-bats pass, so 1-1 the count. Just one runner on base. This ball will break through as well. So Jordan gets a base hit off the line drive. More bodies getting warm in the pen for the Tigers. We've got to imagine Coach Hermanson just wants Brotherson to finish it out here. One the count. Brotherson delivers a strike, trying to leave two runners stranded on base in our 8-4 game. Drew Bowles, last time we saw him, he launched one into left field. Brotherson will check behind. He'll set, deliver. Two count, two runners on, two outs. Bowles goes down swinging. So Brotherson finally gets Orem out of the inning. But what a performance by Bountiful. They score 7 runs. 8 hits in total in the inning. Up to 10 for the game. What a job by the Redhawks. They'll look to defend it when Orem is at the bats when we return. Back here inside UCCU ballpark. 8-4 our score. Abuchan ready to face Cam Humphreys. Or excuse me, Cam Humphreys was retired the last time we saw him. So what does Sawyer Slade do up? Slade falls to 0-1 in the count. Slade slings at one, and it'll break into left field. So the ground ball goes through. Sawyer Slade on first. It's the third straight time he's reached base. He's had a really strong day against Abuchan. Speaking of strong days, Cohen Strickland, last time we saw him, just a 2-run homer. It was that deceptive one that just fell into left field. Strickland, you can tell he wants to make another powerful hit. He'll pop this one up. It's playable, and making the grab is Averett off first. So Strickland retired as he swung on the first pitch. Bring up Alex Hansen, the left fielder. Hansen reached first off a grounder in his first plate appearance. Then grounded out to second. We'll see what he can do here. Hansen chops it over to short. Opportunity for a double play. They'll be unable to make it, but advance the furthest runner. But retire the furthest runner, excuse me. So Hansen to first. But Maxwell played the ball, got it to Averett for the force out at second. 2 outs now in the inning. Owen Miller returns. Last time we saw Miller, he popped out to second. Another's pop straight up. We'll see if anyone can make a play on it. Lots of confusion, as both Averett and Beck went for it. Coming over as well was Webster. So 0-1 the count. Third game of the day is supposed to get underway an hour from now. But we'll see if that sticks. Strike sails into Miller. Two and two our count. Another one high, popped off, called for it, and caught with the helmet still on by Dolke. So the catcher's mask's not a problem. Dolke with the grab. Blake Brotherson returns to the mound after coming in relief of Owen Miller in our 8-4 game. Second matchup of our week between Orem and Bountiful. Bountiful got off to a hot start. Led 5-0 after one. They would go on to win at 8-5. Hot start not the case today for the Redhawks. Instead, they would wait till the 7th, where they had 7 runs. That allowed them to take the 8-4 lead we currently have. Bountiful have 2 more opportunities to extend their lead. Same with the Tigers, who have 2 more opportunities to get back into this one. Ground ball, chopped foul. Webster lifts it into left field. On the line drive, it'll take a bounce. Webster's going to try to stretch it into a double, and he'll make it. Excuse me, that was Truman Derrier. So Derrier with the double. Bring up Dallin Maxwell. So big hit by Derrier. So Derrier on second. Maxwell now due up. Last time we saw Maxwell, he brought in a run. See if he can keep the bats hot against struggling Tigers. Orm's now given up 11 hits to Bountiful. They held them. What's hard about these week-long games is just the pitching at some point. You get guys who aren't as experienced or don't have as much work. It becomes difficult in these stretches. 2-0 the count. Bortonsid got Orem out of the inning the last time he was on the mound. Pickoff attempt, going to be unsuccessful. It was close. But Duryea didn't stray that far off the bag. Three 3-1 the count. Brotherson in danger of allowing a walk. Instead, he'll bring it to full count. Got Maxwell to bite on it. Maxwell struck out his first plate appearance of the day. Will he fall here? Brotherson delivers the pitch too far to the inside. 2 runners now on base. Hank Tippett now due up. Last time we saw Tippett, he brought in a run with a line drive into left field. Want to know the count? Sawyer Slater's had a strong day himself hitting. We'll go to talk things over with Blake Brotherson. Another inside pitch delivered. Moving the count to 2-0. No outs in the inning. Brotherson trying not to load up the bases. Two on the count after the hack by Tippett. That ball fouled off, so 2-2 the count. As Brotherson's fought back into it. Can he capture his second strikeout? We'll find out on the next pitch. Grounder goes through, opportunity for a double play. Tigers won't be able to make it. Oh, they will! That was close. That was a tight call. One that Bountiful assistant coach Aaron Everett was not a fan of. So the double play off Tippett's grounder. It went between the legs of Maxwell. Forlemix flipped it to Bishop, who got it to Strickland. We'll send this one foul. All that action allowed Maxwell to advance to third. Ground ball, fielded. Brotherson easily gets it to Strickland. Tigers get out of it. Looked like they were in trouble. Bases were just about to be loaded, but that's what a double play will do. It'll turn things around. We'll see if it provides the momentum needed for the Tigers to get hot at the bats when we come back to UCCU Ballpark. You are watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. Orem still down 4 runs. With Easton Davies, the DH, due up. Owen Miller fouled out to the right. Fouled out in to the right the last time we saw him. Davies will look to start with the Tigers. Hope is a comeback. They're down to their last 6 outs. 0-2 the count. Davies bites on that one. And he goes down swinging. Davies is retired. First out of the bottom of the 6th. Bountiful has really been sharp defensively. They made really quick work of the Tigers in the bottom of the 6th. We'll see if they could do so again. And it started off how they'd hope. The quick strikeout. Speaking of strikeouts, last time we saw Lamorix and Takahashi's on deck. They struck out. This time, looks like it'll be a ground out, and it will be. 2 up, 2 down, almost as quick as you could say it. Bountiful looking great defensively. Abuchan been really strong. You know, gave up those 4 runs early. There's some bodies occupying the bullpen of the Red Hawks, but there's no one in there at the moment. This is his game, and he has shined in it. So Takahashi now up. Another strike delivered. by Abuchan. This one chopped foul. It can be hard to come back from getting punched in the mouth and giving up the 7 runs like the Tigers did in the top of the 7th. They're down to their last 4 outs now. They'll try to mount the 2-out rally here. Takahashi pops it up. Will it be playable? Oh, yeah. Drew Beck comes over from right field. How about Bountiful defensively? That didn't even take 3 minutes. What a job. We move into the top of the 7th. We'll see if they could add to their 8-4 lead. 7th inning set to get underway here at UCCU Ballpark. Your home of 5A bracket play. Appreciate all of you who have tuned in this week to KSL Game Night Live Rewind. This one's sent into center field, but under it, on it, and securing it is Takahashi, the man who was just retired, off a fly ball. That'll bring up Kaysen Averett after Beck flew out. Averett brought a run in the last time we saw him when he lined one into left field. Oh, 1 the count. Reminder, the winner of this game will go on to play tonight at 7. They'll take on the Lehigh Pioneers. At the moment, Bountiful with a great chance to do that. Orem will need 2 more quick outs. Grounder on a hop is played by Lamorix, who gets it over to first. And able to stay on the bag and get the out was Strickland. He was nearly off it. So Averett grounds out. Abuchan returns. Easton Abuchan. Last time we saw him, he drove in 2 runs when he smoked one into right field. He blasts this one. It takes a bounce. Lamorix struggles with it for a moment, but gets it over. Tigers get it done just as, man, we are flying by in this game. Tigers get it done defensively just as quickly as the Redhawks had. One last opportunity awaits Orem. We'll see if the 9th-seeded Tigers can avoid being upset for the 2nd time this tournament by the Bountiful Redhawks when we come back for the bottom of the 7th. 3 outs, all that stands in the way of Bountiful, and a rematch with Lehigh 24 hours after their first meeting in our tournament. Due up for the Tigers will be Luke Kimmel, Cam Humphreys, and Sawyer Slade. They're down to their last 3 outs. If they want to extend their season, they'll need to score 4 runs to get back into this one. We saw 12 runs scored by Salem Hills just a game ago in an inning. So anything possible. A poor start for Abuchan as he hits Kimmel. He's been hit by a pitch a lot this week. Cam Humphreys returns. Humphreys hasn't reached base in his last few plate appearances, flying out to center and striking out. There is action in the bullpen for Bountiful, just in case they need it. And they may, as a grounder will break into left field. 2 runners on base. So 2 Tigers on now. Humphreys at first. Kimmel at second. With Sawyer Slade, who's already has 3 hits on the day. Had a triple in his first plate appearance. Then reached first on an error. And laid one into left field to land on base in his most recent at-bat. We'll see if he can bring in any runs here or just try to load the bases for Orem. Easton Abushan will deliver. This one smacked into left field. It'll take a bounce, reaching the wall. It's gonna bring in not one, but two Tigers. Kimmel and Humphreys both gonna score on the huge double from Sawyer Slade, who has 4 hits on the afternoon. Slade steps up in a big way. It's an 8-6 game now after the 2 runs scored. See if Orem can make a comeback. Cohen Strickland returns. Strickland had a home run earlier. Doing so here would tie our game. Strickland lets the strike pass. Surprised to not see him swing at the first one. Abushan has been so strong early. Gives up a grounder. That's fielded. Off target. And there's a call to see. There was some protest for a second to say Strickland ran off the base pads. Strickland safe at the moment. Strickland looked from our vantage point, the first base umpire did not have a good look at it. So our umpire's going to come together, talk about it. From our vantage point up here, it looked like Strickland was absolutely not touched. So that's going to be the call. He is safe. Strickland makes it to first. It was a difficult hole throw for James Jordan all the way from third. He did a great job trapping it, but just the off-target delivery. Tigers still very much in this. If the tying run now sets on first with Hansen due up. Abushan had a really good day. This could be the end of it here, and it will be. As Coach Stringfellow is going to make a change, we'll let you know who he brings to the mound when we come back. You're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. Tavis Danner, the sophomore, who's set to take the mound for Bountiful. A right-hander. Look to get things done for his team. For Bountiful. Danner on the mound. He's ready to face Hansen. Hansen retired in his past 2 at-bats. Grounding out to second. He was actually able to make it safely to first, but he retired the furthest advanced runner. Bountiful still with the 8-6 lead. No outs in the inning. Hansen shows bunt. And it's high, it's misplayed, it's high, but there's still going to be an opportunity for an out. So in a way, it worked out okay as they get the force out at third. So confusion as Carson Webster and Tavis Danner both converged on it. Neither really called for it. So the ball goes between the two of them, or I'm sure they both called for it, but then at the second, just confusion, miscommunication, best word for it. Then over to third, because they had to be hung up because of the high bunt. It caused a delay from Slade going, and then Slade is retired. So 2 runners still on with 1 out with Owen Miller. The pitcher early on, who's been relieved since, has been resting up, waiting for an opportunity. He has one here. Danner, the 2.90 ERA. Ball's popped straight up. Looks to be playable. Making the grab. It's James Jordan. 1 out, all that remains for the Tigers. Tying run on first. 2 outs. Easton Daly will be due up. The Tigers' season rests in the hands of Daly. Easton Davies struck out in his last plate appearance. Before that, he popped out to second. This one popped up, calling for it. Webster, he'll make the grab. Bountiful takes it again as they knock out Orem. The Tigers' season ends. The Redhawks once again get the upset and will go on to play Lehigh tonight. So it'll be a rematch at 7. The 2-seeded Lehigh Pioneers and the 10-seeded Bountiful Redhawks set for another matchup. It was a fun one here. Orem's late comeback falls short. They didn't score any runs in the 4th, 5th, or 6th innings. They added 2 more in the 7th, but they fall just too short as they lose 8-6. The 7-run inning, that 5th, proved to be big dividends for Bountiful. If you look at it, Maxwell drove in a run, Tippett drove in a run, Carson Webster drove in 2 runs. So what a productive day it was for Bountiful. They trailed early, heading into the 5th. It was a 4-1 game, but that 7th inning explosion giving them the 8-6 win as they move on to play Lehigh. So your final 8-6, Bountiful bests Orem. We thank you for listening. I'm JT Wistersail. A reminder, our third game of the day, Olympus versus Salem Hills, our rematch from yesterday. That one due up in about 30 minutes, so look for a 4:30 to 4:35 start if you're waiting on that one. But we appreciate all of you tuning in. You're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind.